So if you can't tell, today I'm doing something a little different than usual. I'm going to show you a peek into my life and also what I eat in a day. And just as a disclaimer, this is just what I'm eating today. It's not what I ate yesterday. It's not what I'm eating tomorrow, or maybe it is, but it's just a peek into my life. So I don't want you to look at what I'm eating and say, that's what I need to eat, or that's the right food to eat. No. This is just some meal ideas for you. This is just a glimpse into what I eat day to day. I chose a day where I haven't done a big shopping trip since, I think, last Tuesday. So that's about a week. And I do have some meals still planned for the week. I'm gonna shoot a recipe video today, so I definitely know I have lunch. I still don't know what I'm making for dinner, so we'll just have to see what happens, but I hope you enjoy this video. It's definitely been a big request to have some of these what I eat in a day videos. I hope that it gives you some meal ideas and some inspiration and just shows you that even though I'm a food blogger, I'm a dietitian, I eat just like you. And I too struggle to come up with meal ideas sometimes. So let's get the day started. Nothing fancy here, I just drink it straight out of the tap and it helps me wake up like the slightest bit. And then I need my coffee. I always start my day with coffee and I usually make it in my Chemex, but today it was a Monday and I have a lot of head, so I said I'm gonna get some iced coffee. So I'm starting with this cold brew and I bought some coffee for my Chemex to use for the rest of the week. And then usually after I've had a little bit of coffee, I go over and I start making my breakfast. I don't have much of an appetite in the morning, so I usually go more for savory things. Luckily, I have some leftovers from a video I shot last week, so I'll go ahead and heat those up. So this is how I usually start my day. I eat my breakfast at the table on my own and usually look at my phone. Sometimes I have a book, but this is where I'm at. Today I'm shooting a video for butternut squash pasta, and I'm also shooting a video for roasted butternut squash. So sometimes I shoot my videos in the other room, but today it's a YouTube video, so I have a bunch of stuff to set up. The lighting's not that great, so I have this huge thing you're going to see that makes my artificial light, and I have all of my tripods, just a bunch of stuff I have to haul into this room. So setting everything up sometimes takes like 30 minutes, and then I have to tear it all down at the end of it. So this is probably my least favorite part of the day, but I will say my old house, I had to go all the way across the house to get to where my stuff was stored, and in this new place that I moved into about a month ago, now I can just take it right from the room next door, so I have barely any complaints. It's really nice that I can actually just move stuff from one room to the other and not get a workout doing it. But this is my setup, and then when I'm all done, this is what it ends up looking like. This might be what you recognize from videos. Lighting really does a lot because I was in the exact same location earlier. I just didn't have my lighting on, and you can tell it's quite yellow, and now it looks a lot prettier. Clearly the kitchen has changed, so it's now time for me to record my video. Hey, welcome to my kitchen. I'm Cassidy. Today I'm showing you how to make roasted butternut squash. While things are cooking in the oven and I'm not actually recording, I do try to clean up a little bit because if you can't tell, it's a mess in here. I kind of just like throw everything all over while I'm doing this for the sake of the shot. But I'm also pretty hungry, and lately I have been loving pistachios, and the reason I like them, not only are they a great way to get in some protein and healthy fats, but you can't just eat like a huge handful all at once, which is something that I definitely find people struggle with when they're eating nuts, is you take a whole big scoop and you throw them in your mouth. But like, that's a pretty nutrient dense source, so you may eat a ton and then 30 minutes later be like, whoa, I'm actually super full, like to the point where you're not ready for another meal, like at lunchtime. So I usually try to take a handful, and then I'm like forced to eat them slowly when they're in their shells. And they just taste wonderful. So this is my 10:30ish snack. Shooting a recipe video takes anywhere from like an hour to 3 hours, just depending on what I'm actually making. But I'm making 2 recipes today, so I made my roasted butternut squash video, which I'll actually be sharing next week. It's not up yet. And I'm gonna shoot some photos of that. And then I'm gonna use that butternut squash for another recipe, which I shared a couple of days ago. So I like to plan my recipes so that I'm not unnecessarily making something twice. So after this, I'm gonna shoot my butternut squash pasta recipe. And as you can see, I move around a lot trying to figure out what works best, try to find the right props. And I usually don't actually shoot my videos in this room. I usually shoot them in my photo room, but since I was already set up, it just felt easier that way. I use artificial lighting for my photography as well, because I've never had great lighting for a house until now, and now I'm just really used to it. So what happens here is whenever I press the trigger, it makes a bright flash of light, and that's what lights up the room just in time for the shot. So if it looks really dark here, that's because it only gets bright when I press the trigger. It's pretty cool. Okay, you can guess my lunch. It is this pasta that I just made. It's pretty much exactly noon right now. Alexa, stop. It's pretty much exactly noon right now, and I'm planning to eat this, take a little bit of a break because this whole situation is exhausting. I just recorded 2 videos, one with my face, which is always mentally exhausting. Yes, 2, because here I am right now, right? And then I'm going to probably go rock climb to work out. I'll give you a peek of that if it works out. And yeah, then I'll come back. Bon appetit from me and these noodles. I am so excited for this one. So after lunch today, I decided to go ahead and just upload all of my photos and videos from my shoot because I get pretty excited and I want to see how things turned out. And then before tearing everything down, I like to look at my videos just in case something went completely wrong and I have to reshoot it. It's so much easier if all of my equipment is still out there. So that's what I'm doing here. It takes a little bit to upload it all to my computer, and then I kind of go through, sometimes start editing the photos. And then from here, afterwards, I did not record myself tearing it down because that part is not very fun, but that takes another like 30 minutes to clean everything up and get it all back together. And then by that point, once I have all that ready to go, I usually take a little bit of a break for some kind of exercise because I get a little sleepy around 2 or 3 every single day. If I'm not exercising, I'm probably drinking coffee. But today I decided to go to the climbing gym. So this is me doing a little problem. I haven't been climbing that long. I've been climbing on and off. So I'm not super advanced, but I just have so much fun, even though this problem I didn't technically finish. It's great. So if you're one of those people who doesn't love exercising, it turns out you just need to find something you like, because I've never loved exercising, but I actually get excited about doing this. And then after I get back from climbing, before I do anything else, I try to make myself a snack, and I've been making a ton of smoothies lately. So I basically just found some stuff in my fridge, and I am really making it up as I go. I'm doing some frozen berries. These are from Trader Joe's. I really love their berries because they're pretty cheap in comparison to other places, and they taste just the same. And I'm also adding in some hemp hearts. I like these because they have some healthy fats and they have protein as well. So they just add a little extra oomph and make it a little more nutritious. I'm also adding in protein powder because I want to build my muscles since I'm working out. I want to feed them. So I'm using this chocolate protein powder, and I usually only do 1 scoop. So I get like 10 grams of protein, and then I also add in some nut butter. So I am truly scraping the bottom of this almond butter container, trying to get as much as I can. And from there, all I add in is some soy milk, just enough liquid to make it nice and creamy. I actually had to end up adding a little more soy milk because it was not blending enough. It was way too chunky. Sometimes I'll add in some spinach because you can't really tell. I'll add in a frozen banana. I'm not the biggest fan of bananas and I didn't have any today. Sometimes I add orange juice, which makes it really zesty and good. That's actually a recipe I have on the blog, so I'll leave a link down below. But today this is a DIY, what's in my fridge, what can I make smoothie? But the funny thing is, right when I finished recording this, I went to grab my smoothie and just dumped it all over the floor. So thankfully I had like half left. So from here, I actually just went back to editing my videos again. It was a pretty computer heavy day. I do not like cooking on days that I film videos because I'm just pretty tired from it. I saw this at Target this past weekend and just grabbed it because I knew I needed one of those desperation meals. And I did not check the nutrition facts, but I was not amused with them. I'm totally all about all foods fit, but when I'm eating something, you know, quote unquote healthy, I'm not looking for 1,400 milligrams of sodium. I mean, I'm trying not to go over 2 grams a day, and this is like so much salt for so little calories. So it was what I had. I was like, I already bought it, I'm gonna eat it, but I wanted to add some more stuff in. So I had some leftover roasted butternut squash from earlier, added that in, added some fiber, some carbs, a little more oomph. I actually had some rice from a couple days before, so I added some of that in. My goal was just to make it more filling and just to up the calories because that 270 calories was not gonna hold me until breakfast or even until like a nighttime snack. But I also went ahead and added in some guacamole because I had it on hand. So that's some healthy fats, a little bit of flavor because I had a taste and it wasn't super flavorful, and some pumpkin seeds because I honestly just add those to everything. It's like, I'm gonna eat it because I'm hungry and I made it, but I don't think I'd buy it again. Especially knowing how much salt is in here. If I'm eating that much salt, I want like a stuffed burger with like a huge thing of fries and like a really good dipping sauce, some cheese, you know, not like something that's supposed to be healthy, which, you know, what does that word mean? So I was done with work at this point, but I was a little hungry, so I made myself a dessert. I just mixed some peanut butter and some plain Greek yogurt together with a little bit of agave syrup and cinnamon, and it was really good. Like, I think I'm gonna actually have to make a recipe that does something like this, that's just like a dip. It was definitely a realistic day of eating, just kind of making do with what was in the fridge and recipes I had planned out. But if you liked watching this, I would really love to hear. I would love to make more videos like this if you're interested. And thanks as always for watching. You know what to do. Hit subscribe because I share easy vegetarian recipes every single week.